right, everybody, welcome to Bottles and Bottles, the uncut, unfiltered, unprepared podcast. We talk a little bit about whiskey and a lot about becoming a first-time dad. Today's is going to be a super quick episode. We're just still trying to figure out this whole podcast, video podcast kind of thing. So we're going to do a quick intro, let you know who we are, what we're doing here, and get you on your way. So I guess I'll kind of kick it off. My name's Corbin. I'm 31 years old, been married for, oh boy, my wife's already not liking the podcast. About a year and a half, I think. We were a COVID marriage. But at any rate, we've got child on the way coming in fall of 2022. So that's me. I'm going to shoot over to my left side here with Adam. Adam, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Friend of Corbin's. And Bill on the far side there, 31, not married, no kids. Here to offer a little bit of raw, uncut questioning, knowledge building.
Good deal. Good deal. How about you, Bill?
Bill here, 30, 2 kids, married, dove right in the deep end. I'm here to provide answers, whatever that may be.
Yeah, I don't know that I would consider you like an expert because I don't know how much I trust your judgment.
2 kids still alive.
Yeah, okay.
2.5, 6 months old.
That's a good success rate.
Yeah, that's
still alive.
And I'm
kicking.
still alive, which means I've done a good enough job myself.
Okay. All right. So there's a little bit about us. We've known each other. Man, I met Adam back in like 7th or 8th grade.
Playing hockey. And then did you know Bill prior to high school? No.
Okay.
No knowledge of that kid.
Nothing.
Until freshman year of high school.
Bill stays very much under the radar. I'm surprised he's even letting us know what his name is on this podcast. But at any rate, we met Bill in high school. We've played hockey for years. I actually lived with Bill in college at Ohio State until I moved out because the kid has the loudest steps in the entire world. Like when he walks through the apartment, it sounds like there's a garbage truck dumping in your living room.
You would think I weigh 300 pounds.
He just walks with authority.
Loudest steps ever. No, that's not the reason I moved out. I was just an introvert at the time. But at any rate, we kind of go way back. So that's again, there's a little bit about us. The whole purpose of the channel really is my wife told me she was pregnant and I'm like, I don't even know what that means. What'd I tell you? It's like the scene from from Talladega Nights. Ricky Bobby, when he's doing his first interview and his hands kind of just start to float up. He's like, I don't know what to do with these.
You're a fish out of water.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I felt like. Still feel like that. So I started asking questions and my wife, Morgan, is a labor and delivery nurse. So she's got some good answers. And I was drinking some whiskey at the time, which we'll talk about in a minute, how that all ties in. But Adam was over, we were drinking whiskey, and when I started asking questions, Morgan thought they were hilariously dumb, where she wanted to start recording me and send it to her work friends, because she's like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. And but at the same time, I was learning things, and you were learning things. So that's kind of how this whole concept came about. And it's like, okay, well, we all like drinking whiskey, so why not just get together, drink whiskey, ask dumb questions, learn things about how to be the best dad possible, maybe use some influence from Bill here.
Yeah, starting pre-birth as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Very important.
Yeah, 100%. And that's my thing is like, what do I do right now? There's no baby here right now, but what can I do in the meantime? That may just be being a better partner to Morgan. That kind of like that's all the stuff that I want to know. And like, there's so many doctor's appointments. What goes on? What's the jelly that they squirt all over them and that kind of stuff? What's the big wand? We all know what that is. But those kinds of things. So the whole premise of the channel is we're going to sit down, drink a little bit of whiskey. We'll talk about that, first 5 or so minutes of the show and, share our thoughts throughout the process of what we're drinking. What are we drinking right now, by the way? I brought this one, Eagle Rare. Eagle Rare is one of my favorites. What's the, was this 90?
90
Little
proof.
90
That'd be your
proofer.
expertise.
90 proofer. Okay. It's not like a store pick or anything like that, but it's fantastic. It's one of my favorites. But that's kind of how we'll start the show. We'll talk a little bit about whiskey, and then we'll dive into a topic. I know the episode number 2 topic is really the reaction. So we can talk about my reaction, in the moment of when Morgan told me she was pregnant, kind of how she told me. We'll go over you and your wife, Adam. I'm really curious to get your opinion, how you would want to be told, because I know you expect big things because you're a go-getter. You want something that's got some punch to it.
Yeah, like Prince Ali coming in on the elephants in Aladdin.
Yeah. So at any rate, that's kind of the premise of the channel. Talk a little bit about whiskey. We'll pick a topic. We'll dive in. We're going to have some guests on the show. Obviously, Morgan, my wife, will be on there because she wants to actually give me the right information. She wants me to be a good dad and a good husband and all that kind of stuff. But that's kind of where we're at. So I think we'll just cut it off here, and we'll dive right into the next episode. Thank you all for joining. We really appreciate it. If you want to check us out, we're going to be on Spotify,
Apple Music,
Apple Podcasts,
Amazon
Podcasts, and then we're also going to have a YouTube channel. So for those of you watching, thanks for joining us. And then also check us out on Instagram. We are at bottles.n.bottles. I had to get super creative with the name there.
N is in nipple.
N is in nipple. Great segue.
Perfect.
But okay, cool. We'll see you all next week, and as always, bottles up.